Hey everybody, BTO Pro here. Today I'm going to show you the progress on the HAX Desktop App. So if you've seen HAX in its current form, I can reach out and I can pull from a media source pretty quickly. I can say, give me a picture of the moon from Unsplash It, throw in a caption, and then we have that from Unsplash It. So I can duplicate it a bunch of times, all this fun stuff. But I'm always showing it in this little like vacuum demonstration thing, or export and these clunky like, hey, go download this or copy this content someplace. But that's not entirely the vision of it. So one piece is that just a standalone thing that can work anywhere. Another piece of it is integrated into CMSs, and then another piece that is something that we're still heavily working on, but I wanted to show some of. So we're building an Electron app. And Electron works across platforms. So you can compile to Linux, Mac, and PC. And you write all the code for it in HTML. It's pretty stinking awesome. So you can see the directions. You have to get Bower and Git to install this. Actually, I think you might just need, in Node, I believe, to run this. Yeah, download install Node. So let's see what this does or how we get it. So HAX Desktop App is that repo there. That's my little demo running a second ago. And so I've already downloaded the HAX Desktop App. Got the code up in version control. What I'm going to do then, I have to do this via command line because we haven't packaged it yet because it's not in a full release state. I'm going to run bash build.sh. And that's going to run all the functions necessary, get all the dependencies, and spin this thing up for us. So I'm going to answer some questions here. I want the latest versions of things with the exception of Polymer, as per some of our other demos. And once we wouldn't be in a build state, right, when we had this finalized, you wouldn't actually have to do this part. But this is kind of stepping you through, assuming I had nothing. After I have these things in place, then I wouldn't have to do that. But so, if we want to unpack what's in that a little bit, you see it just launched an app. It's pretty awesome. If we were to look at what's inside of that function, that build.sh, we can see it basically moves into the directory in question, runs install, and then this last part's the important thing. So once you get this installed, you can just run npm start. You don't have to answer the questions every time. So if I do npm start, that should be enough to get it going. Now you see I have opened this previously. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here. I've opened the app previously, and it remembers, hey, this is a project you have. So what this can do right now is it can read off of that structure you just saw there. So let's see what that is. This is a DMD course. It's a course by Michael Collins, faculty member here at Penn State, and he's building it out in Gitbook. Gitbook is a pretty neat little platform. You can build out content in Markdown and then kind of do different publishing styles, download the course as a PDF. But you write the whole thing in Markdown. And so you get a pretty clean user interface. And the building tools are pretty decent as well. So what he does from a workflow perspective, he builds his course kind of in this standalone vacuum that can be delivered outside of a course context or an authoring context. And then we ingest that. That's kind of the relationship we have formed with this. So right now, our Electron app understands how to read Gitbooks. So if you have a Gitbook or something you made in Gitbook, you'll be able to read it into this. And so it's hit the file system, courtesy Michael Potter, because I didn't know how to do this stuff. And it reads in that course. And so now when I select one of these pages, this might be a little bit later in the, there we go, repo process. When I hit these, I'm actually loading a file off the file system. That file is a Markdown file, and then it's converting it into HTML and it's presenting it here for me in this side pane. But you'll notice we have our little HAX dealy here. So once I select a page, let's say this project page, I can hit edit and we put HAX wiring on top of this content that exists there. Now, again, it's a very rough prototype phase. Still need to get a lot of the UI considerations worked out in HAX in general. To be perfectly honest, we want it to be more medium feel than what it is today. But all of the functions that worked previously will work here, and the reason for that is because Electron is basically loading up headless Chrome and then just displaying a web page. Now it does a lot more than that, obviously, but your developer experience is you basically just get to write HTML and you build a desktop application. It's stinking amazing. So as a result, because we're building everything in web components, we've got these decoupled components that are not tied to any solution we're making. They're not tied to Elm's Learning Network even, which is the primary thing we make them for. So I get access to all of these tools inside this desktop app now. So everything that you've ever seen us make will just work in this automatically. So all the button configuration, our rich media viewer. If I threw in a link to a YouTube video, which it's not allowing me to copy and paste, but if I threw in a link to a YouTube video, I'm not going to type one. It would take me there. Similarly, on Gizmos front and the finding stuff front, that's all there too. So if you've seen any of the videos recently, I wired things up to NASA. So now I have a desktop app that's wired to NASA, and then I have all the user interface considerations that we're building out for the web in here from NASA. And then I can insert that into my content, make a different size. I can move it up in this material, maybe right align it, make it a little bit smaller. It's a bit ridiculous looking. Duplicate it a few times, right? I can do all of these things. I can edit the link that it's pointing to directly very quickly, add alt info, all that good stuff right through here. I get access to all the other sources. If I want to throw a video in, there's a video. If I wanted to throw in, something from Unsplash, which we just another one shot a video of integrating with recently, I can get a picture of the moon that I can throw in, box it, put it in place. Now we have the moon there from a different source. CC Mixer is one that I also just added recently. So that would be, let's search for dubstep, and then I've got, this little dubstep music here. And so all the work that we've been doing and showcasing for Elms, and then, by proxy, that's for HAX, is completely one-to-one leverageable in the HAX Desktop App. There is not a thing different about that code to get it to load and function correctly here. And so really the main difference then ends up being, well, this is a desktop app, so we need considerations such as loading files off the file system or saving those files, right? We can focus on all the guts of making a really great content creation experience that works anywhere, is written once and deployed to anywhere, and then at the end kind of just focus on the wiring. And so if I hit save on this, it actually is saving it back to the file system there. And so now if let's refresh because it's in development mode, it's basically a glorified web page viewer. I can hit open project and search the file system, or I just hit this one because I had it open recently. And I believe that was in technology. And then I have my video that I put in there from before. There's my page with all the moons on it. And my audio, just like I had it before. So it actually saved it to that repo. Now, getting a little bit further down the progression of where this is going, if I took that repo, that repo is in version control, that just saved a file, that edited a file and saved it back to something that's going to be in version control, I could actually kick that over to GitHub or to Gitbook or whatever, and now I've got a desktop publishing application that can pull in all these great, awesome things that we're working on visually and put it in version control so that I can keep track of it over time and pump it out to where it needs to go in the end. So that's part of the vision of the next generation digital learning environment that we're building is, you'll be able to use HAX in any system that you want to work in, whatever that reason that you want to work there is, that it'll integrate with the rest of the universe no matter where you are and give you a consistent user authoring experience no matter where you're doing that, whether it's on this website or it's in a content management system or a learning management system or a desktop app or my phone app, and that we can still build everything in a consistent way and publish to wherever we need to publish to. It's, you know, stitching together the universe. So hope this is helpful. Obviously, we still have a lot of work to do on user interfaces and things associated with desktop app to even get it to a point where it'd be worth doing a publish build. There is a build routine you can go through and then, you know, turn it into basically a little app icon we've all come to expect, you know, so it looks kind of like that and it's on the desktop. But that's the status update.